Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. Hope the videos are helping your designing process. If they are, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button, tap on that notification bell, leave me a like, and please leave me a comment. Let me know how things are going with you. And also, if you'd like to buy me any coffee, I just went and got me a cup actually, right down in this area here. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is had a email on how to make this pearl clasp. And this is kind of leaves a lot to the imagination. I'm not sure exactly how it connects. I can only kind of maybe guess. So what I'm thinking is that this piece here and this piece here are one piece, because it looks like it. I can't tell if that's this piece here or if it just stops there. Or I'm not exactly sure how this kind of goes together. But it looks like it's kind of soldered or attached here or casted here or something. It's difficult to say. And also there's some things I don't know. I don't know how big the pearls are, and I don't know how big the gems are. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of guesstimation. But I think this is all one piece here. And then this here with these two things here, and then this. So it goes over to here to maybe around here is the tongue part. This will be sliding in and out for the tongue, right? And it'll snap in here. That's kind of my guesstimation. It's hard to say. If I could see it, different views, it would be much, much easier. But I'm just going to go on that assumption. And we'll just kind of design it like that. If, you think that it's some different, let me know. But it looks like it might just be, it might be one. Some of these are like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead. Looks like an oval shape, right? Excuse me. I got to grab a cup of coffee here. My throat's kind of messing up. I don't know what's going on tonight. All right, so I'll just go ahead and we'll start with ellipse, if I can find it. There we go. So I'll just go ahead and click on my ellipse, and we'll go to diameter. And I'll just change to my creation layer. My grid snaps are on, so I'll just go over here and kind of maybe snap right there, and we'll say that this is 8 millimeters long and 3 millimeters wide, so something like that. And now I'm going to grab that curve, and we'll go to our tools command, and we'll just kind of put a profile in it. It looks like it's just a square with rounded edges, so we'll go to our number 2 there. It's kind of probably the closest we've got. Now this part, I don't know the size of the gemstones, right? And I don't know the pearl sizes. So this is kind of all guesstimation. But what we need to think about when we do this is we need a nice rail down here at the bottom, and we need a nice stable rail up here at the top. And then we can cut out in between, of course. But the thing is depending on the size of the stones that you use will dictate how wide you need it and how high you need it. So that's, kind of going to be, I don't know what those stones are, so I'm just going to kind of guess. I'm going to drag this up to maybe around a 2.7. And then I'm going to say we're going to put 8 millimeter stones on here. So we'll need it at least... probably in order to give it some good rails going around, maybe a 1.9 would probably be okay. So I'll take it to a 1.9 by a 2.7, and then we'll just activate auto sweep over here and give it some shading, right? And I'll click on that and accept it. So this will kind of be our piece. It kind of looks a little large. But it just really looks that way. If I go out here and grab me a solid ball, right? And then go ahead and just click anywhere and type in 2 and then hit enter, it gives me a 4 millimeter pearl, right? And it would be up around this area here. And we need to bring it back a little and go ahead and transform parametric mirror in our X direction, not our Y. So something like this. Hit enter, they're probably a little bit smaller, but that's, that's looking at it, it's hard to say. But you know, that's kind of what I'm going by. 3mm, 4mm, 3.5mm, something like that. All right, so next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we have that depth right in the here and here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a line curve, and I'm going to go to from F4, and I'm just going to hold down shift and kind of snap it out this way. And then I'm going to grab me another line, and I'm just going to take it around this area here and hold down shift and drag it through, right? Now there's two things we need to think about when we add this class. We need it not to move in our north and south direction, and once it's put in our east and west direction where it slides in, it locks, right? So in order for it not to move in our north and south direction, we're going to want to leave a little bit of metal over on this side here, so that when it's not going to be able to move north and south, and you'll see as we move forward. I'm going to go ahead and select both those because we need to get our bottom rail right here. So I'm going to click on here, and I have a 0.6. That should be okay. So I took both those curves up, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so both those curves moved up. And now the next thing, before we start drawing the clasp, is we probably need to find out where those gems are going to go in, and where that channel, how deep that channel is going to be, right? So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and extract an ISO curve from our surface here, and then just kind of snap it in and hit enter, and then go ahead and add some gemstones on here. And go to, and now these aren't going to be the ones I use probably. We'll go to our target surface, click here, drag those, make them small, 0.8, and hold down shift and drag those over to 7.5 area. So 0 and 7.5. And then we'll go ahead, drop those down from girdle to table, and then go ahead and accept that, right? There's one more thing I need to do before I really get going on this, and that's I'm going to select this, and I'm going to duplicate it. So I'll go to my duplicate. I'm going to go duplicate in place, and I'll change it to this layer here. Now I'm going to grab that original surface, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to type in a 1 and then hit enter. And that breaks the history on these two items. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want these two joined together, right? So let's just go back and I'll show you what I mean. If I was to grab this surface at a later time, and then say I'm going to work on the second part over here and then move it, everything's going to move and update with it. So it's going to kind of mess it all up, right? So it's better to go ahead and select that and then go ahead and break history right now, because later it could cause you some huge issues. And then I'm just going to go ahead and right click on it again, click on it and type in a -1, and then put it back to where it was. And then I can go ahead and select this one now and move it anywhere I want, and I don't have history with it, right? So it's not going to move my original item around. So I'll take that and I'll just turn it off, save it for later in case I need it. And now another good thing is doing something like this, there's so many details involved in everything, so it's probably good to be job bagging a lot more. So I'm just going to go over here and create a new project, and then type, just go ahead and give it a Pearl Clasp title, and then just put it in there. And actually now it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and do a full save. It'll save my item here and save all this here, right? Just so we have it in case we ever need to go back. So next thing I'm going to do is select my gemstones. Like I said, we want to find that depth. So we'll go to cutters and we'll go to channel, and it's not important right now as far as what this is. The only thing that is important is whatever cutter you're going to use in the end, you want to go ahead and add it now so you can make sure it's the same depth. So I'm going to go ahead and change this cutter. And we'll just go to my normal one that I love so much, and we'll go to our front view here. We'll turn everything to wireframe, and we'll drag that up, and we'll grab the top there, and kind of, like I said, I'm just trying to find out how deep it's going to be into my item there, right? So we'll just say that's good. All right. So I can see where those girdles are coming down at and where that channel's coming out. So I need to leave enough meat on here for several things. One, to make sure it's not going to bend real easy, loosen up those stones, and and those stones start falling out and the customer has all kind of issues. We want to make this fairly nice right there. Okay. So that's that. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to my curves menu and I'll just grab me a line curve, and I'm going to put one right there. Do I have my snaps on? No, I do not. So let's turn grid snaps off at this point. Let's go to that intersection mid right there. And I'm just going to bump this up just a little bit, something like this here. And then I'll right click and I'll take it here, and I can kind of draw this line out to where I think that I'll have enough meat up here to be able to add my clasp latch, the inside where it's going to click, and then also the thickness and everything, right? So I have that. So I think that's going to give me a nice depth there. So this will be nice and sturdy, and we still have a lot of we have 0.6 down here, so I think we should be okay with this. So at this point, the gemstones and the cutters aren't any good or not really useful at this time, so let's go ahead and hide them. So I'll grab that top curve. I'll turn it to blue because I'll leave it with my gemstones. So when I bring back my gemstones, that will come back, and I'll just turn off the cutting layer, and we'll go ahead and select this one curve here, and we'll change that to gray and hide it. So we have this here. Now, next thing I'm going to do is grab this profile, and we're going to go ahead and dupe that in place, and I'm going to turn it to red, and I'll just turn it off. So I have another one of those, right, as well. So let's go ahead and turn off green now, and we just have this out here. And we're going to do some trimming action. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this, and that there. And now we'll just take this part, and we will go ahead and join all that together. And 5 curves joined into one closed curve, and I can check it over here as well. Planar closed curve, right? So this is good. This is kind of what we want. This curve here we don't need either. I'll just go ahead and change that to yellow or gray and hide it. All right, so we have all this. Now let's go ahead and bring back this, all right? And we'll select our curve, and we'll go to solids, and we'll go to extrude both sides, all right? Now, you want to make sure both sides are on, yes, and solids on. And like I said, we want to leave some meat on here so their clasp isn't going to, if we had it all the way through, the clasp would just slide back and forth, right? Even with that latch, perhaps. So we want to leave a little bit of room maybe in here. So I'm going to turn off snaps here so I can get a nice fluid flow to the extension. And we'll just say maybe something like that should be okay. So it gives us this meat here to be able to keep that where it's at, right? Okay, so this is a surface. We have 2 surfaces now. We have this one here, and we have our oval there, right? So I'm going to take this one and turn it to cutters and go ahead and turn it off for right now, and I'll go back to my wire. I'm going to take this one here, and I am going to go to my curves and go to offset. So I'll go do an offset on this. Offset at I think I have a 0.3. 0.3 might be a little thin, but it's really hard to tell. We want a lot of spring in there, so we'll just go ahead and take that. And then I'll just hide my green layer, or my surface layer there. And then I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to nuke it. And I'm going to grab these 2 here and get rid of them. And I'll go ahead and we'll do an extension from this one, hit enter, and then grab it, click on it again. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and do an extension. Click on here, hit enter, click on it again, drag that out, click on this one, drag it out, hit enter to close that command. And then I'll just go ahead and select all this, and we'll do some more trimming. And we'll get rid of this, this, and this. And we'll hit enter. And then we'll grab this and we will join it all together, and one closed curve, and we want to make sure it is planar, and it is. All right, so from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that, and I'm going to go to a little clean up here, and I'll go to my second one, and I have a 0.1. That should be fine, except this part here I'm not so sure about. Yeah, see, that kind of takes it back too far, so let's just back out of that. Let's go ahead and nuke this. So now we have separate individual pieces here, right? So we should be able to go back to that cleanup to the first one now, and it's set at a 0.1 as well. So we'll go here, here, we'll go here, 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 and here. Just give those a little roundness. I don't think this one really matters. Well, yeah, we'll do it there and there, and we'll just leave that one alone. Right, and now we'll select everything and we'll join it together, join into one closed curve, and it is planar. So that's good. So I'm going to bring back these cutters here. All right, and now I'm going to go, oh, okay. Since I did this kind of redid everything, right? And that will pose an issue for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and back out of this so we get our cutter back the way it was. Just get rid of all those commands there, and we're back here, right? And we have this, and it's a closed planar curve. Okay, so that's good. What we're going to do is just go ahead and select this. Well, we'll just go ahead and grab all yellow, turn it to gray. That way we can just get a new curve to work with. If we start manipulating that one, it's going to change our cutter, and that'll give us problems down the road. So what we'll do is we'll go in here and we will grab a line curve, and we will just start from F4 and just kind of drag it straight up like that, right? And we'll just go ahead and do a project this curve onto this surface, enter this surface here, enter, and we want to change it to active viewport, and then hit enter, so it goes ahead and gives us that curve right back again, right? But there you go. Okay, so we'll take this one, and we don't want to break history on it, so we'll just put it in there. And now we can grab this one and go back and do that offset, right? But you know, if you try to use that same curve, you could have some issues. So it's probably better to just go ahead and draw the other one out. It's not a big deal, right? So we'll just go to offset, and I have it at a 0.3, and we'll click there and do the exact same thing. We'll take this inner one. Let's go ahead and change this outer one here. Oh, I got two there. Oh, okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and grab that inner one there. We'll go ahead and nuke it. We'll get rid of these two pieces here. And we'll go ahead and do that extension again. Click here, hit enter, click again, drag it out, click there, drag it out, hit enter. And then we'll turn off our cutters there so they're not in the way. And then we'll just go ahead and select it all. And we will do trim again, and we'll get rid of this, this, and this, and that should be okay. And we'll just go ahead and do that fillet here, here, right click 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 here, here. And we'll leave that one there alone. And then we'll just select everything and join it together and check it again. 3 curves joined into one closed curve, planar, we're good to go. Okay, so we'll bring back those items now. And now you can see our cutter is still intact, right? So there it is. We'll go back to wireframe, and we'll grab this here. And we will go back to our solids, and we will find our extrude planar straight, and we don't have snaps on, so let's turn them on. Our end snaps on, so we'll just snap it right there to that end. Okay, so we have this and this, right? And let's go ahead and take this and just hide it for right now. And let's bring back this. All right. So the first thing we want to do, let's go to our cutting layer. Let's turn off our yellow. Okay, now the question is, do we duplicate this just in case, or do we just not worry about it? That's the question. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we'll just not duplicate it, and hopefully it will work for the best. So we'll do Boolean intersection and wait for the command. First surface, this one here, and then second surface, this one here, and then hit enter, and it gives us that piece there, and we'll hit enter. Okay, so this is a solid, okay, it just gave us the piece there, right? So if I get rid of this, or we go back to our yellow, hide it, we have this piece here, right? We'll go ahead and take that piece and turn it to this color here, right? Okay. Let's see here. Is that solid or is that cut out? I can't tell. It's hard to tell with those cutters in there. Let's go ahead and take this and go ahead and hide it, and we'll take this and hide it because I just want to see what, okay, that's a solid piece there. So it just gave us that piece there, right? So let's go ahead and turn that one off right now, and let's bring back that cutter. Okay, and let's go Boolean difference. This one here is our first surface, enter. This one here is our second surface, enter, and then enter. And we have two, one without and one with. So we'll grab this one and go ahead and put it down here on this layer here. So we have one here saved and one here saved. And then we have our cutter here, but this one has our cutout now in it, right? It's going around, all right? Now what we're going to do is go to a Boolean difference again, and this one enter, and our yellow there, and enter, and gives us that piece, right? So let's turn all this off. And actually, I didn't really need to do that, but that's okay. Can't hurt. Okay, so we have this piece here, and that's our original one. So we just basically have two. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this green one here. Go back to our, we really didn't need to do that, sorry. This is the piece we need. Okay, so what we're going to do is do the Boolean intersection with this piece, this one here, enter, this one here, enter, and enter. And it did not, okay, maybe let's go back, maybe I selected them wrong. So let's try it again, enter, let's try this one, enter, this one, enter. Yeah, that's it, and then enter. So now we can turn off this, and off this, and take this and turn it to, we'll just change it to our cutter layer, and now we have that piece cut, right? And we'll change it to this layer here. All right, so now this is the piece that will be the tongue, where it will come in and out, right? Like that. All right, and I'll go undo, so that we have that. And that should work out great for us, hopefully. We'll find out here in a second. And as you can see, if we click on it, it's coming in here, so it's got some meat here, so it's not going to be moved north and south. And once we get a little latch on here, or a little clip thing, which we'll be doing shortly, it won't move north or east and west. Excuse me. All right, so we have this. All right, so yeah, we have the two items. So let's go ahead and turn this one off. Let's just keep this one out here for right now. And actually, let's go in and grab this one and we'll change it to this color, and we'll take this one to this color and then turn that one off so it's easier to see. We'll go to our curves. We'll go to arc direction right here, third one down, and we'll turn off snaps right now. And I'll just kind of draw a line out here someplace, something like this to here, and then we're going to make a little U shape here, and then I'm going to select that curve, and I am going to go ahead and transform and center it, just because, you know, I just guessed, but now I know it's even on both sides, right? So now I can take the curve and then move it into wherever I want it. We'll just say right here, and this here, oh, that we can turn to gray. All right, but we have this curve down here, right? Okay. So what we're going to do now is going to project. We're going to project this curve, hit enter onto this surface, hit enter, and it gives us a bunch of curves. And we'll just go ahead, select these three. It'll group them, right? It'll group them all together. First, we'll go ahead and ungroup them. And then we'll select these three and we will go ahead and turn them to gray. We don't want to get rid of them because it'll break history. If we need to move this, we can do it if we don't get rid of those with this one here. And we'll just leave these two. Okay, so let's go back to get a surface here. Now what we're going to do is grab this one, and we need to put a latch on here, right? And we need something fairly sharp. So we're going to go to our tools. We'll grab a profile. And of course, it puts it up there like that. If we put it on our Z, it's just going to go right through. It's not going to give us the direction we want. So we're just going to do something like this. We'll go ahead and take this one and change it to something that's got a sharp edge on it, because it's going to need to be sharp to click and lock. So we'll go to this thing here, and then this one here we're going to take in. It doesn't need to be real thick, maybe a 0.4, and we'll take this one down to a 0.4 as well. And we're going to go in here to our editor, and we're just going to take this curve here. Ooh, oh, that's right. Let's undo that. I don't want symmetry, and I'm going to take this one and just kind of make it something like this, so it kind of comes up and then it'll snap right there, right? So we'll just go here. Excuse me. Now I have that, so I can come over here and go to mirror, but it's on the wrong side, so I need to rotate this mirror so it's on the right side there. And I don't need it going that far across. I just need something maybe like right up in here, and then I need one more right in the center, and that's why I centered it, so it should be locked in at our 5.0, which it's not. So there we go. Now it's centered at our 5.0. So if I center it here and then lower it and then project it, I can get everything all lined up pretty easily, right? Now this one here, we want it going straight up and down. So we're going to take this one, spin it around so that it's facing north, south, east, and west, right? So it's going straight up and down and this way, and then we're going to just drag it down inside, so it gives us a little latch right there. And we can add a little bit extra right here. You can drag it up just a little. You just want to make sure that little piece here comes into your item there, right? Okay. And then what we want to do is go back to our original, and we want to drag that one down just a little, and then we want to take it all the way down to 1 and then make it disappear. Bink, so that it's disappeared, right? And that will make this one disappear as well. And then we'll just accept that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we'll go to wire, and we'll go to surface 1, history, or parametric here, 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 and here, and hit enter, and we'll just go ahead and say that's good. And there you go. There's a little lip, so the clasp should come in and snap down, right? So after we push this in, it'll snap right up and lock right in place at a good, nice edge. So now we have it locked in, going north and south and east and west for the most part. So at this point, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and maybe do another full save in case anything goes bad, right? So we have this out here, right? Now let's go ahead and do you could just cap those. You don't need to do those other ones, but we'll just see how this goes. We'll go to here. We'll go to Boolean difference, sorry, Boolean union. This will be our first surface, enter. This will be our second surface, enter, and make sure we have no dupes out there. Looks like we're good to go. So we have something like this going on. And if we bring back our original item with the cutout in it, we should be able to, is go to Boolean difference, select this surface here, enter, this surface here, enter, and wait for it, and hit enter. And my item disappeared. Can I bring it back over here? No, I cannot for some reason. So I need to go back. Let's abort that command. So we're back. I'm just going to go ahead and now watch. I'll duplicate this and it'll come back this time. So I'll duplicate it in place and switch it to this color way down here just in case, right? And now I'll do the Boolean difference. This surface here, enter. This surface here, enter. And enter. And of course it comes back. Don't ask. No clue. Okay, so we have that. And let's check our cutout here real quick. So we'll drag that out, and we broke history, which is okay. And there's no cutout there. It did not give us the cutout. What's up with that? Huh. Okay, so we'll go back. So that piece snaps back in there. And I don't know why that did not give me the cutout. So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put it on this color. And I am going to bring back this one since it's the same thing. And we'll try this. Boolean difference. First surface, this one, enter. Second surface, this one, enter. And enter. And there's my cutout. I don't know. But anyway, we have it saved. So what layer did I put it on? This one here? Yeah, there we go. So I'll take that and we'll just go ahead and put it on this layer here. So now if I turn off this layer, we can see we have the cutout. And if we look in the wireframe, it should come up and just after this is pushed down, it should snap right up and lock right into place. At least that's the theory. Pretty good theory, I think. Okay, so let's go to here. I don't know what happened there on that one. Okay. All right, so now we have this. So far, so good. And actually, right now, it's probably not a bad time to go ahead, select everything, do another full save. Select objects too high. Let's abort that. And we got our save there. That way we can come back if anything else goes wrong or we need to redo, manipulate anything, right? Excuse me. Oh. All right, so I'm going to take this one, change it to this layer. I just want to be able to see this one a little bit better, so I'm going to change it to there, and we're going to turn this layer off. All right, so let's work on getting this clasp on here. All right, so let's go to all perspectives here, and let's go in and kind of zoom in on this area here. All right, so I'm going to go to curves, and I'm going to extract an ISO curve. So right here on this surface here, and it's putting it way over there. We want to bring it over around this area here, and we want to switch it so it's going straight up and down. And there's a little piece here. Maybe, I don't know, I don't really like it. So we'll just put it right there. And then we'll just go ahead and right click, accept that. I'll take that curve, go up to my transform, and we will mirror it in our X direction, not our Y, and then hit enter. And it should have gave it to me over here, and it did not. Okay, maybe I did something wrong. So let's go back, mirror, select objects to mirror, this one here. Select objects, enter, gives me this, X direction, not Y, There we go. And then hit enter. Okay, so I have those. Did I put it someplace else? I don't know. Well, anyway. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and grab me a line curve, and you'll ask, why are you doing a line curve from here? It's real easy. I'll show you. Because I want to be lazy. I'm going to select there. I'm going to go down here to this one end, and I'm going to take those, and I am going to join them together. And let's go ahead and grab this ISO curve here, and there's one down here. Hold down Shift, select it, and then change them to gray because we really don't need them anymore. I think this is all joined, right? Yeah, so it's joined. And I'm in my right view. I'll go to transform, and I am going to project to C plane and select objects to project. That's this item here, not this item, and hit enter. And then I want to delete those originals. And the reason I did this, if I would have tried to dupe that edge or something, it would have came out really hinky. And this way I just got a nice straight edge there. So it just makes it much easier. I can take this now and I can drag it back out here and click off of it. So it's pretty close. I can do some manipulation with that to be able to get it a little bit better in there as well. Maybe make it a little bit thinner. Right now it's inside everything, right? Okay, so I'm going to take this curve, and actually I probably don't need it that wide. Let's go ahead and bring it in something like this here, and I'm going to hold down Alt and make me a dupe and just kind of bring it out somewhere around here. And I am going to spin this holding down Shift so it gives me straight up and down. Broke history, no big deal. Now this part I need my original surface because I don't know how high to take it, right? So we'll take it up somewhere around here. Somewhere around here should be fine. And then what we'll do is we'll do a surface profile sweep right here, and we'll select this profile here and that profile there. We'll bring this one down, and we'll bring this one out so that it kind of goes out from our surface and it's not touching right there, right? And you can play around with this as much as you want. We'll turn that off so it gives us more of a smooth surface. And we'll go ahead and accept that. Now, the nice thing about doing the profile sweep is if I want to, I can bring this one and start manipulating that around pretty much anywhere I want, right? So we'll take it over a little bit more, something like that there. Yeah, better not. We'll bring it back over here because we're going to add a little something extra. Okay, so we have this, and now I'm going to take this one, and I am going to duplicate that one in place, and I'm going to turn it to this color here, right? And I'm going to take the original yellow curve, not the one I duped, and I'm going to bring it down, and that's okay. It keeps my original one, right? And then I'm going to bring it out a little bit, and I want to make it a little bit wider so that it kind of gives it around the edges of the outside, right? So it's kind of going around the outside of my original item there, right? And I brought it down. So now I'm going to select that curve, and I'm going to first things first. We want to, right now it's a poly surface. It'll be 4 different. We don't want a poly surface, so we're going to go to our fillet command somewhere. Right here, fillet edge. That's parametric. We don't want that. Well, we could use it, I guess. Down here, we'll go to our fillet, and we'll just do it all at one time and then hit enter, and it gives us a little curve going around like that. And now this one, when we extrude that surface, should be a NURB surface now. So if I take that, turn on points, I get 2 points right there. So let's turn that off. Let's take this, turn on points. Maybe it's a poly surface. So let's check. We want to find out what it is. Valid surface path, poly curve. Okay, we don't want poly curve. That's a poly curve. No, I want surface. Go to what? It's just an extruded surface. It doesn't say whether it's a NURB surface. Oh, closed poly surface with 8 segments. Okay. So no, we don't want that. So let's back out of that. Let's select that curve and let's just go do a fit on it so that it'll change it into one curve, right? And we'll just go ahead and hit enter. So we selected the curve, went to fit, hit enter. And now if I go to what here, right? Now we have a, let's see, valid curve, NURBS curve, right? So it should give us a NURB surface. So if we drag that up now, and we take it and go back to what, just make sure, the curve, NURBS curve. Well, I'll tell you what, easiest way to do it is just turn on points. Oh, it's doing it again. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and click on that curve, hold down Alt, drag it up, and then we'll do a surface loft. We'll do loft from here to here, hit enter, and now when hit enter again, and now when I select that curve and turn on points, I got all points. I know it's a NURB surface, one surface. It's not a poly surface. Okay. Let's go ahead. I don't think I need any of that yellow, so let's go ahead and take all that and we'll change it to gray. Just get rid of it and hide it. And there's that little cutout there. So I want to give this a little bit more life. So what I'm going to do is go to patch, and then I will select this edge here and then hit enter and then just do a preview, and it gives me a nice little bumpy thing like that. And you can adjust this however you want. So let's try 19 just for fun. It didn't really change it too much. Let's change it down to a 2 and do a preview, and not a big change, but that's kind of what I want. I just want a little puffiness to it. You could do a sweep if you wanted to, I guess, too, but this works just as good. So we'll just go ahead and OK. And then this one down here, I'll right click, bring back patch, click on this one, hit enter, and then do a preview. And then we'll just say OK on that one. So now we'll take all this and we will join it together. And we'll check it. Close poly curve, right? Okay. And this one I think is still open, so we can just go to our cap and just cap that and then hit enter. So now it's capped. Close poly surface and close poly surface, close poly surface. Okay, so all those are closed. We might as well just go ahead and join these together. You could actually go ahead and maybe make that a little bit bigger, smaller, or whatever you want. All right, so before you go ahead and join them together, but that's a nice little clasp that should be able to push down pretty easily, right? And it's got some meat to it, so it should be okay. So let's go ahead and go to our Boolean union. We'll do this as our first surface. This is our second surface. Hit enter and enter. Make sure we don't have any dupes, which we do here. Grab that one and we'll just change it down here and turn it off. Okay, and then we'll go back to our Boolean union. This surface here, enter. This surface here, enter and enter. Make sure we don't have any dupes. We'll hide it down here. And we have all this, right? And at this point, it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and do another full save so we can save that. All right, so now we have basically the tongue done, and that's really the most important part because everything's going to kind of move around this. So once we get this, let's take this, put it to green, and let's take this and put it to this color here. And now you can see it's going to slide out. And it'll snap up in there and everything should fit in. It's got a little meat on this side to keep it from moving this direction, and it's got that little clasp right here to lock up into there to be able to be okay. It should be fine. So let's go ahead and take this. We'll turn that to gray, and I'll tell you what, let's go over to our super select all curves, and then we don't have any out there, so that's good. All right, so now let's go back and undo. Oh, well, all right, undo. We know that curve's out there, so I'm going to go ahead and select it, turn it to gray. All right, so that part is pretty much, and it's going with our shape, so you're not going to be able to see it, so it should be fine. All right, so we got all this done. Now at this point, before we do any kind of cutting on it, let's go ahead, take all this, and let's go ahead and we'll change it to this color here and hide it. And now we're going to bring back this one. Okay, now this one, you know, it's hard to say, but I'm going to assume, which is not a good thing to do, that this one may be not as thick as this one, because it's going right in between those two. So I'm going to think that maybe this one's just a little bit thinner than this one here. And it kind of looks like it, but it's hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing here and we'll just kind of squeeze it up a little bit, something like that. And actually, let's go ahead and bring that back out. And let's go to here so we can kind of see what's going on. And that's probably okay, I think. All right, so I'll go ahead and select this. And I will drag it out to wherever we're going to place it. So let's give it some shading here. And we could probably make it a little bit thinner. We want to kind of do most of our modifications here before we go in and start doing a lot of the other stuff. Yeah, maybe. Hard to say. Okay. And that's there. All right. And that's there. All right. And I don't know how far maybe this comes out. It's hard to tell. It looks like it goes pretty. Let's go to our top view here. Maybe it comes in a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably okay there. All right, so we have this out here, and now let's move this back over out of the way here. All right, and we have some cutouts on there, but those are going to be a little more challenging than you think, because we just put a cutout on here. It's going to be cut out right in through here, and it's really hard to say which is which and which side has cutouts. Maybe the other side doesn't. It's hard to say. So let's see. Let's go ahead and turn this off, and let's go ahead and bring that back to the center. So we'll just put it back in our center here real quick. And this is where I've come into, I'm not sure exactly where these will go. So let's grab a box. Doesn't really matter here, I don't think. And turn our snaps off. And we'll change that color to yellow. So we have a yellow curve. And let's say we put one right in here. Okay, so that would be that one there. And we'll go ahead and just extrude this out so we can kind of see what's going on here. Well, solids, sorry. Solids, extrude planar, both directions, and we'll bring that one out, okay? And if I take that one and move it, it's going to update everything. So let's just go ahead. Let's change this. Well, no, if I change it to cutter, we get all these cutters back again. I really didn't want to drag another one. Let's go ahead and draw another one. Would like to use that curve. Rectangle. Actually, I'll just go ahead and snaps on. And this one I'll put on this color here. Go to that top corner there, and we'll go to the bottom corner over to this end. Okay, so we have that, and we'll take this one. Oh, what happened to it? Okay, so we'll do that again. Go from here down to there. What? All right, well, let's do it this way then. Let's go ahead and try duplicate that one in place, and we'll put it on this color here. Now, if I take the, oh, there's a ton of them out there. Okay, so I did get it. Oh, not that. That's where that one came in. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's take the original one. And if I spin, let's undo that. Okay. I just want the curve. I'm going to, how come I can't grab that curve? Okay. Do I have two curves out there? I have two. So I want the original curve. And let's go to our top view here. There we go. And I'll spin this one kind of facing out this direction. Okay. And we'll kind of bring it up and maybe over a little bit. And then we'll just go ahead and do an extrusion here. Extrude. This time we want to go to both sides, no one side, something like that there, right? Okay. And take a look. Yeah, that should be okay. And do I have enough room inside there? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so we'll take this. We'll go to transform. We'll go to mirror in our X direction, not our Y. And then we'll click on that. So that'll give us those. All right, so those are all lined up there, right? And I'm going to go ahead and take all this real quick, and I'm going to group it together real quick. So now it's all grouped together. Now I can bring back that original one, right? And I can select all this and kind of get it to where it's going to line up for me. Yeah, and it's not going to go into the side there, right? Or that much, or it doesn't look like that much. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move this up to our center. Our item here. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Right there. All right. And do the cuts from here. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and do that Boolean difference. This here, oh, they're grouped yet. So let's ungroup them. So we have these, this, and this, right? So let's go Boolean difference. This section here, enter, this, and this, and hit enter, and enter. And we can go ahead and get rid of, we better not get rid of it. We'll take this and this, and we'll change it to this color here. And we'll take that original surface and put it on that color as well. So now we have this item here, right? Okay, so we'll take this one now, and let's see if we can do that to rotate. So rotate it from that mid intersection over here, and then up something like that, right? And there we go. And then if I click on it now, I can just drag it wherever I want it, as far as straight up and down, because it's a little too thin right here. We got gemstones going through there, so we want to give that a little bit more meat. And we got a lot of room down here on the bottom, so let's go ahead and drag it down a little more. Okay. Now I'm going to go as super select all curves, and we'll change those to gray. So we're back to where we were. And we got some cutouts there. All right. Now, let's see what we got. Kind of got this set up. It looks like, I can't tell if that's shine there or if that's a whole cutout. It's difficult to say, but we probably could lighten that up a little bit, right? This piece here. And I can't tell if there's any cutouts on this one or not. So I'm not going to get too crazy on this one. You can add some cutouts maybe if you want. I am just going to add one, I think. And I am going to add it to that side down here, right? So I'll just go ahead and grab me a box, rectangle, and I'll turn off my snaps, and so it'll go to my C plane. And it's hard to say. Maybe I'm kind of like looking up here where it's going to cut out from here. Maybe from here. Maybe somewhere around here. Okay, and I'm going to select that curve. And I'm going to transform, and I am going to just center it, just so I know that it's centered. Right there. And then hit enter. Okay, and now I know it's even on both sides, so I can drag it up. And I'll be able to tell more once I get that extrusion right. So we'll go ahead and extrude it. Planar. Straight, single direction. We only want it one direction, going this way, right? And that looks okay, I think. We'll open that up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll do a Boolean difference from this surface here, enter, to this surface here, enter, and then take this, and we'll change that to, I think, this color down here. And we just have a little opening there so it's not so heavy. Actually, let's bring that back. Which one was it? This one? No. The other one. This one. Let's grab that and bring it down some. Something like that. And hit OK. And it should have moved my cutter. So if I hide it, yeah. I want more meat at my top than I do my bottom, right? Because we only need a 0.6 there at the bottom, or at least that's what the other one is. All right, so we have that. Yay. All right, and you know what? Now is a good time to go ahead and full job bag that puppy. And if we go to our shaded, we can start to see we're kind of getting something similar to what's out here, right? Like that. And we have our cutout here. Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. And you know, like I said, you could thin that out by making more cuts. I'm not going to, but that's up to you. So let's see now. What do we got now? All right. Last thing we need to do is, well, not last, but pretty close to last, is go ahead and let's bring back our gemstones. And our gemstones are over here for some reason. And I hope this is going to be okay. So we can probably go ahead and grab all those gemstones because they're not going to do us any good on that surface there. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to try, and when I say try, I mean try, extract an ISO curve from this surface. Oh, it works. Okay. Last time I tried it, it kept on going over to this one, even when I clicked on this one. So I'm going to put that at 5.0. Go ahead and hit enter, and then we're going to go ahead and add our gems here real quick. And we'll go ahead and project target object this here, and we're going to bring those around here and bring these around here and make those 0.8, and we'll go ahead and kind of get them somewhat into place, something like that, and maybe something like this. And we can always come back and redo those. So let's go ahead and put those girdles to tables and then hit enter. Now the thing is with this, right? It's, if I put it, it would kind of just go right here, kind of. And I mean, I guess it's really personal preference. You could just go ahead, select them, put a cutter, channel cutter, you know, and then put them however where you want them. Make sure you get that original cutter that you had. And if you wanted a flat cutter, you know, it's not going to cut that one, so it's okay. And it's not going to cut there, so let's just go ahead and do it this way. Let's grab our the cutter that we originally had out there to set everything up with, right? And now we'll go into wireframe and set it up again. We'll drag that up. We'll grab that and drag it down a little. And we need to make it wider. Something like that. Let's go ahead and put it on shaded so we can see how it's laying out. That's okay. We'll go ahead and take it. I right clicked, which will hide it, so it's out there. And then we'll go to solids, Boolean difference. This one enter, this one enter, enter. Okay, so we got that. Let's go ahead and grab this one and delete it since it's no good. And we'll go ahead, grab these stones here and slap some prongs on there. First thing, drag them up. Always. Second thing, maybe open them up. There we go. All right, and we could just maybe make it just a little bit 4-4. That's kind of 5-0 is what I really like to stay at. All right, so we'll take that and we'll go down here to our, wait a minute. Oreo showed me something here. No, that wasn't it. Oh. Let's go back to our original ones there. I think it was the end ones. And if we go in here and I think it's this one here. Yeah, boom, there. We got it. There we go. And we can nudge those out a smidge. And we could probably make that diameter just a smidge smaller. There we go. All right. So that's that. All right, if you wanted to, you could extract an ISO curve out going around on the outside, extract an ISO curve out going around on the inside, and if you wanted to make this more of an angle, extract another ISO curve and draw an angle out there. But I think this is okay. And we got all this. Let's turn off all our cutters. Yeah, okay. There we go. There's your class. All you have to do is add your safety on there, which I have another video up. You can check that one out. And add your O-rings and your pearls, and you should be good to go. But this, excuse me, this should work out fine. And last thing maybe you need to do would be, of course, do your cutters here. And you probably want to do that before you do, or after you do this here. And you could even, you know, do a hollow. I mean, there's lots of ways to thin this out a little bit more, make it a little bit more hollow. Just draw another curve out there with a little bit of insight from here or wherever over to there. Make that hollow, do a little cutout. I mean, there's all kind of things. Depends on how deep you want to get into it. But I think this has been a while, and I don't want to keep you anymore. I think you get the gist of it. But this part is probably the most important part, right? And it should be fine. So hopefully this helps. And if it does, please go ahead and like, subscribe. And if you want to see, you know, me, you know, doing this at a hollow and making some more cutouts and doing some more fine tuning to it by adding the O-rings and everything and then adding the safety, let me know and I'll do that. So I'll just go ahead and save that here. Let's see, select gems. Let's cancel that. Let's back out of that. Let's grab all this and just go ahead and full save it. If you want me to go back and do that, I'll go ahead and do that for you. But I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But just bullying those together, add your jump rings for your pearls there, and there. And then add your safety over here, and it should be good to go. So hopefully this helps, and if it does, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and good designing.